I just want to let you know the following episode discusses the topic of suicide. Conversation about suicide can be troubling or overwhelming for some of you listening. If you have someone, or you know someone, or you are the one thinking about suicide, please call or text 988 to connect with a suicide in crisis lifeline. Trained professionals are available 24/7 to provide support and guidance to help you. You can also call your local county crisis line number or call 911.
I guess I'm just burning in hell forever. So I wrote a letter to everyone at school and to my parents, and then I just got a Costco thing of Tylenol and just took them all. And then I laid in that bed and I read my Bible and I was like, please God, I know I've just sinned, but please, I am begging you. That was not fair of you to put me in this world. Take me out. I thought maybe I could convince him out of sending me to hell if I just told him, I think you. And then I remember struggling because I was like,
Bobbi. It's breaking my heart hearing this.
All right, what I have today for you guys is a conversation with Bobbi Althoff. If you guys don't know who Bobbi Althoff is, she is a podcaster who has been involved in scandal lately because of what happened. She's been going through a divorce. She's been going through a tough time right now. I'll be honest with you, and I feel for her. We all have our consequences for our actions, either good, either bad. But we all have consequences. And I just want to make sure you guys understand that this is important because what I'm going to talk about is something that happened to her. It happened to me at some point in my life, but I didn't let this get into my head because I understood one thing about what the Bible says, how the enemy is trying to get you. The Bible says the enemy or the devil is trying to kill you, destroy you. And is trying to disrupt your sanity at the same time. Why? Because once you let him into your head, he is going to be able to do whatever he needs to do. So I'm not just going to, tell you more, but we're going to go straight to the video with Bobbi Althoff.
Up until the past year of my life when I really started the podcast, when I started TikTok, I hated who I was as a person because I felt so uncomfortable. And I think that's really what has helped in a way with my mental health is leaning into that instead of embracing it more. And that's kind of what I do now is embrace the parts I hate about myself. Mm-hmm. But growing up, I did not embrace it at all. I hated that I felt uncomfortable in every room I was in. I hated that I felt like I just didn't fit in. And I think as early as, I think it was freshman year that I started being like, get me out of here. I am done. Check me out. This world is too hard. I'm never going to fit in. I'm never going to be, I don't know. I really believed that I would never find my place in this world and that I would always be an outcast and that everybody would always be friends with everyone, but I was always going to be the person who was just left out. And that paired with the fact that my family life was horrible. My parents were very toxic together, but they lived in the same house until I was 14. They just lived on opposite sides of the same house.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
Yeah, they loved to fight. And
when did they get a divorce? Around that same time?
They got a divorce when I was in 5th grade, but they stayed in the same house for like 6 years.
Oh, gosh.
And just would fight horribly, my dad. And now I'm good with my parents, but that took a long time because and my mom will admit now that she's changed a lot from my childhood.
Yeah.
They were very abusive, not so much my dad was a little bit physically, but it was a lot of mental abuse happening in that house. Mm-hmm. My mom would
Raging?
my mom, when she would get mad, she would threaten to kill herself a lot. And that was something I would see a lot. She would lock herself in the room and be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to kill myself. And I don't know what that did to my head, but it probably put the idea there. Like, oh, you can just do that. That's crazy. And my dad was he would just say, his temper was really bad. So he would just say the meanest things you can imagine saying to your kids all the time. And they fought just so much. It was every day. And I remember the day that I was like, I'm checking out. They were fighting. My dad was yelling at me about something. So my dad got so mad at me as a child. He'd just call me a lot of profanities and like, you just lazy. Like he was just not nice. And I remember I forget what exactly happened because it was so long ago, but they were fighting. And I just felt like I did not fit in at school. I felt like people weren't very nice. I'm feeling I don't feel like I fit into any space that I'm in ever. Mm-hmm. I just feel like I don't fit in literally anywhere. And I got a piece of paper, and keep in mind that we were very Christian.
Okay.
So my dad, who didn't really lead a Christian life, was a very Christian man, and he
No, how did that manifest? Was that like church every Sunday, or
no,
you just
it
kind
was
of
just
considered
like,
yourself Christian?
Yeah, we considered ourselves Christian. We used to go to church every Sunday. And for a time, I was going to church a lot too. But yeah, so I did really believe in God. But that was a very scary thought when I was going to kill myself, because I was like, you're going to hell. And that sucks. And I was so scared. So I held off for a while because I thought that I was going to go to hell. But then I remember that day being like, I came to terms with it. It's like, I guess I'm just burning in hell forever. So I wrote a letter to everyone at school and to my parents. And then I just got a Costco thing of Tylenol and just took them all. And then I laid in that bed and I read my Bible and I was like, please, God, I know I've just sinned, but please, I am begging you. That was not fair of you to put me in this world. Take me out. Just take me back. I was so mad. I was like, God, please. Like, I thought maybe I could convince him out of sending me to hell if I just told him, I think you. And then I remember struggling
It's
because I was like,
heartbreaking, Bobbi. It's just breaking my heart hearing this. I feel so sad for that girl.
She was very sad. Yeah. So then my mom came in hours later and I was just passed out on the bed, very pale, and just how she just describes it, I was just was there. And she was like, what did you do? She saw the note, she saw the empty bottle, and she was like, what did you do? And then she drags me to the bathroom, tries to make me throw up. It's like, that's not going to help at that point. So then they dragged me to the hospital. And I remember my dad was that was the only time that I've ever seen him, like, he was calm. He was, let me get my daughter to the hospital. And I remember just crying in the backseat saying, I'm so sorry, because I thought they were going to be so mad at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, what did I fucked up because now they're going to be pissed off at me for this. And I remember getting in there and then the surgeon or the doctor was like, how you tried to kill yourself was so stupid. That's just a way to get yourself quadriplegic. It's not going to actually kill yourself. Like, and
have you had one of those doctors? They just, instead of actually, being compassionate and just being merciful for what you're going through, is like, well, what do you do? What do you do? Compassion. We need compassion for people. And my daughter's crying in the background. Sorry, we have a house full of kids sick. My issue with this conversation is this, that it is really sad to understand, trying to understand. I mean, it's obvious where we at right now is where we came from, but we can change it if we want to change it. I mean, she's I think she's a little bit awkward. She's weird sometimes. When I've been watching, I watched her. I used to watch, not all of them, but her podcast, and just the way she explained, like, she was funny, but just kind of like, very socially awkward. My understanding of what's in the mind of every person is totally different. Every mind is a different world. That's why we're unique. That's why you are unique. I don't think the same way as you think. Maybe you can think similar, but we don't think the same way. I don't agree, and I always going to preach against people who call themselves Christians on Sunday, but they are living a double life on a daily basis. And that's why it's so important for me to make you understand as my viewers that my position in life, or in my Christian life and my Christian walk, is I want to be the same person that I'm at home, that when you guys see me outside. And I want to make sure my wife says the same thing. Because if you go and ask my wife, I want to match what I say. If I'm not, then I got to hold myself accountable and I got to start transforming and changing stuff. But I cannot do it myself. That's the key. One of the things that you have to understand, if you are in your walk with Jesus, that you cannot change yourself. You can try. But the only one who can actually give you that transformation is the power of the gospel, the power of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's the only one who can resurrect who you are and who you were created for and who you were created to be. Because at the end of the day, the main purpose of the human race is to know God. But God has called us, like Micah 6:8 says, that we have to do the right thing, walk in do the right thing, seek mercy, and walk humbly before God. That is our true call. But at the same time, when you go see Matthew 6, Matthew 7, when Jesus is saying that in the last day, when the day of the judgment day, many people are going to be standing in front of him and say, Lord, Lord, in your name we did all the stuff. In your name we did miracles. In your name we cast out demons. In your name we did, charities. In your name we did all this stuff. Yet Jesus says, depart from me because I never knew you. I never knew you. Why? What is the key? The key is that we have to be faithful and we have to be servants. The key word in that verse is that we have to be faithful, we have to be servants. In being you, the dad or the mom of the head of the house, that doesn't mean, it doesn't give you authority to talk, let me just put it this way, pass your trauma to your kids. That doesn't mean you can pass your trauma to your kids. That's why it's so important for me to understand that I had trauma in my life. I've been, if you guys don't know my past, when I was 8 years old, my brother was 5 years old. We were SA by a Christian person. Our life ended up being totally different from a different extreme. I became more attached to the Bible, more attached to what I believe could actually help me. But my brother actually knowing the Bible ended up actually being in drugs, drug addiction, alcoholism, and all this stuff. And yet I'm still actually praying for him. Yet I love him. I talk to him whenever I can, whenever he picks up. And it's hard. It's hard to see my brother actually in that condition. So what I want to do is to understand that I cannot be the person who I said I am until Jesus is in my heart. Because by myself, I cannot do it. But I have to try. That's the point of the cross, that you have to carry your cross and follow Jesus, because on the road, there's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some rocks. There's going to be some things on the road that we have to understand, that we have to let go at some point. What is holding us off from the true disciple that Jesus has called us is the hurt, all the stuff in our lives. I'll throw you a Bible verse at the end. Just keep on watching this.
It was like, he's like, do you feel bad for doing that? I was like, I feel bad it didn't work. I'm not like, you're so mean. He made me, I was sitting there like, damn, you idiot. Why didn't I do something else? Because I'm fucking stuck now. And I have all these people around me making sure I don't kill myself. Like they're all, and then my mom was like, they're going to take you to CPS if you don't lie to them and tell them that if you tell them it was because of your home life, they're going to take you away. So I was like, I'm okay. I'm fine. And they made my parents switch. My mom had to move out. So that's when my mom finally moved out of my dad's house. And
that was connected to the suicide attempt.
I believe CPS or something. I remember having meetings with them, and I believe that was like the understanding. As soon as I got, and my liver was pretty fucked up for a minute there, but they didn't thankfully need to do anything. I was in ICU for a week, and then that was it. I got to go home, but I had to go to my brother's house because they would not let me go back into the same home that caused me to do that. So then and I remember just, obviously that's not something you go to school and tell people. So I was like, yeah, I was just away for a minute. I was just on vacation. And then I was like, okay, you can't do this again.
What did you write in your note?
I wanted them to feel bad. So it was a note that I wanted them. I remember thinking, I want them to spend the rest of their lives feeling bad for how everybody treated me. So I was like, to everyone at school for not making me feel like I fit in. Wow. This is at you. Wow. I put all these names in there, which is crazy. I'm like, that would have really fucked with everybody's heads. And I didn't even think about that. I remember the only person I was nice to in my note was my little sister. And I was like, Lexi, I'm so sorry that I have to leave you.
That's really dark. And it didn't go. So it stayed with you for a long time.
It's still there. That side of me that is like, but I have kids now. And I think that's the one thing that's like locked me in for life, was having kids. That was when I finally was like.
Did you get any therapy for this stuff?
I started getting therapy after my divorce. So it was pretty late. But
so you didn't during your teen years?
No.
So even after that, your parents didn't put you in therapy? No. Or they couldn't afford to?
I definitely should have. Well, I think that we could have got it for free.
The only thing I can tell you is this. Therapy is the beginning of your journey. the beginning of something that you need to start working on. One of my videos, an ex-atheist says that the Bible for her was the therapy she needed for her mental issues. For me, it was the same thing, and I can just try to be honest. I want to be more relevant to all of you because in my lowest moment, and what kept me going is my faith, number one. It's my family. This is the way God shows us his love for us. Probably you can say, where are you, God? In my lowest moment, where are you? I haven't seen you. I can tell you that God is there to show us what we should actually care for. When we lose something, we always got to go back to what I have left and evaluate maybe our thoughts, maybe the way we think, maybe the way we approach life. Maybe just give God an opportunity. Why not? Maybe just give God an opportunity. Maybe you've tried everything. Maybe you forget that God is still there knocking on the door. God doesn't give up. But when we shut him down, it's hard to find him. There's no excuse. You can say God doesn't exist. Maybe you can say God is not who he is. But I can tell you this. The little things in my life, the little bit I know about God, I remember that it was possible for him to rescue me from where I was, from who I was. I had similar situation like her. Like I was made fun of. I was bullied. I was doing some of the stuff, but I always excelled in sports and basketball. So that was my outlet, to be honest with you. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that this is a mental battle that the enemy is going to try to win over you. This is a mental battle where your soul is in play, where your future is in play, where your eternity, which is the most important thing, it's in play. With everything you have, fight for what you have left. With everything you need, God will take care of it as long as you let him in. Just give it a try. Just give God a try. Just give God a try. Just try God. Why not? Why not? I can see clearly her face. It's just sad to see where people come from. It's sad to see where, they're trying to move forward and what she's been saying. Like the only thing kept her alive is it's her daughter. That's what I'm saying. What you have left, and maybe what you have left, fight for it. Don't justify what happened in the past. Don't justify what actually has been there. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Happy holidays. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button. I'll pray for you. If you have any questions, if you have any prayer request, my email is in the description below, in the comment section. Jump in. All right. We'll see you.